Former President Donald Trump didn't just win Wisconsin, he also set a record in the state.
Our Jason Calvi is here with another surprise in those numbers. Jason?
Yeah, Ted, Wisconsin shattered its election turnout record. 3.4 million people voted. That's 93% of people registered as of November 1st. And former President Donald Trump smashed the Wisconsin record for total votes won. Look at that, 1.69 million votes for him. That's much more than he got in 2020. Actually, 87,000 more Wisconsin votes for him this year. Vice President Kamala Harris also did better than what President Joe Biden won in 2020. 37,000 more voters there. She beat President Obama's vote totals in 2012, but she didn't reach Obama's numbers from 2008. So let's zoom in on some of those crucial counties where former President Donald Trump overperformed compared with 2020. He won 52%. Look at this. We're going to go to Racine County here. He won 52.5% of Racine County. And that's a 1-point improvement over 2020. Let's go down to Kenosha County. Again, 52.5% of Kenosha County. That's a county he flipped red in 2016, the first time a Republican won that county since Richard Nixon. He grew his lead nearly 2 points from what he got in 2020. His percentages decreased a bit when we move over to the crucial Republican stronghold of Waukesha County. He's down about 0.4 of a point here in Waukesha County this year. But guess what? He made up for it in so many parts of the state, winning a lot of the rural areas, increasing his score in places like we pointed out in Racine and Kenosha. But still, it was a close race.
Well, it actually has gotten pretty close in the end. I mean, we're talking about less than a point. This looks like it's going to be the 5th time in 7 presidential elections that Wisconsin has been decided by less than a percentage point, which no other state has a record remotely like that. But, you know, not to take anything away from his victory, because it was a broad-based victory in another sense, and that is that he improved his performance over 2020 almost everywhere in the state.
And that was the big question mark going into this election. Would the former president be able to improve his score from 2020? And the answer wasn't just yes. It was a Wisconsin record-setting yes.
What about the rural voters? How did they play in this election process?
Well, we looked at that map. I could go over there again, but I probably want to stay here with you guys. But when you look at that map, you look at the rural areas, he really increased his score in a lot of the small towns in those rural areas. He even won some very small towns in Dane County. But then we saw some of the suburban slippage. Again, he lost Elm Grove, so that's crucial Waukesha County for Republicans. He did lose it. Vice President Harris flipped that village in Waukesha County to the Democratic side.
So the message to take away is here, Wisconsinites will turn out and they will vote, so you better come here and woo them.
And that's what they did this time around. They were here all of the time.
Jason, thank you.